Peasant Productions presents the math of ESP, why it works even if you don't believe in it. Alright, I've been talking something about the idea of how, unlike most people, I'm not telling you what to think, I'm trying to teach you how to think, how to look, how to see what's there beyond whatever is, placed in front of you and said, oh, this is absolute fact. Don't challenge us, just believe us. Religion. You gotta have faith in us and believe whatever we tell you. Like I say, flat earth people, they can't buy sailboats, they can't buy motorboats, they can't sail around the world, they cannot prove that, sextants and photographic equipment taking, star trails photographs and stuff like that are false. But like today, some guy put up an image of what is probably either Mount Shasta or Mount Rainier, and claiming that it's taken from the Alps. Okay, the Alps have snow on them 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. The Alps are covered in snow. You're looking at dry ground in front of you. You're looking down across a flat land. You see what might be cities or towns and farmland and lakes and all the stuff that is not in the middle of the Alps. Okay, the guy, oh, this is the Alps and this is a real photograph showing there's no curve in the earth. But your photograph that you took yourself with your own camera because it has the curve of the earth in it, that's a fake photograph. The Illuminati gave that photograph to you. You didn't really take it. That's not really you in the picture. Really. Okay? Yeah, that's the sort of stuff that you hear these people do and say. They are so absolute, fanatic, religiously fanatical, zealous idiots that they can't even listen to themselves tell you that you have to be fake with stuff you've done with your own hands, but you have to believe something that they can't even tell you where the photograph was taken or where the video was taken or who took it or when it was taken. Yeah. And even more hilarious is that they will sit there and claim that NASA showing you a two-dimensional video. Like I said, here's a coffee cup, okay? It's flat, folks, because you're looking at a video. You cannot tell that this is a round object or a long object or a cylinder or anything like that. You can only see this side of it. You can't see what's on this side. You can't see what's on this side. So you don't have a three-dimensional object. But these people are so stupid. They actually want you to believe that because NASA is fake, because they say so, their image of exactly the same thing is proof that it's a flat earth. And they actually want to try and tell you that, and this is the absolute hilariousness of it. Okay, these guys are trying to say that the North Pole is here in the center, which is 0 degrees. The South Pole is down here going all the way around, which is an ice wall, which is 0 degrees. And here in the middle is the equator, which is some of the hottest area in the world. And it's a ring going around all this. And somehow the fact that the laws of physics can't allow that to happen. Reality can't allow that to happen. They don't have any way to explain it to happen. But nonetheless, you have to believe that if you are over here in Los Angeles and you're going to sail westward all the way around the world, you're actually just traveling in a circle on a flat earth. The North Pole is dead center up here, and the South Pole is this ice wall that they cannot explain how this ice wall exists for millions upon millions of years, or even thousands of years. Okay, the ice wall would melt. The glaciers are melting. Everything's dissolving on this planet that's made of ice. So how does this ice wall exist? What keeps it cold? If it's a flat earth, notice it's flat, folks. If it's a flat earth, there's nothing that makes this more colder than this part. Yeah. So that's why I say you have to stop and realize just how idiotic these people sound, okay? Same perspective, different subject. Politicians. Everybody knows that politicians lie. Everybody knows that politicians are crooks. Everybody knows that anybody that gets into politics and stays in there for more than about 4 or 5 years and gets reelected is usually on the dole. They are getting bribed to stay in office. They are part of the system now. They have realized they get a really nice retirement fund if they can stay in office for 2 or 3 sessions. And, 2 or 3 re-elections type of a thing, In Quincy, if you became a council member for 8 years, you got a permanent retirement that included full medical. You got it was something like $100,000, $120,000 a year as a retirement, regardless of whether or not you had another business or operation. But you only had to have 2 sessions, 2 4-year terms to get that. So of course, the Republicans were the people who put this in power. They went from being a county with a whole lot of money at one point to a very broke county in a matter of about 20 years that I was there. So everybody runs around telling you can't change it, but everybody keeps re-electing the same kind of BS and the same illegal stuff and the same lies. And it's like, why don't you change it? Oh, you can't change government. You can't change the laws. That's funny. They're doing it every day. They're rewriting laws. They're changing what they're doing. They're changing the behavior. If you stop electing the crooks don't go in. If you stop voting for the crooks, if you stop talking to the crooks, if you stop giving the crooks money, the crooks don't have anything, do they? It's real simple. It's a real simple process. Stop paying them to be crooks, and they will stop being crooks because they will have to go do something honest, right? Another thing, okay, and this is part of how it gets fed into you. You go to school, and I actually had teachers talk about this, okay? You go to school, a place where you are supposed to be learning how to be intelligent. And what do? The teachers get up there and they tell you that they are in charge. You will accept their rules, their laws, their way of doing things, their structuring. And if you challenge it in any way, shape, or form, which shows that you're actually thinking, you're asking questions, you're trying to process what's going on, okay, you are labeled a bad person. You are thrown into the outcast pile, okay? So you have a dictatorship claiming it's teaching you democracy. Yeah. I had, I believe, somewhere around 3 or 4 teachers that actually verbalized that fact, that this is a dictatorship. I am going to teach you about democracy, but you are going to learn in a dictatorship of what this is. So the school is not a place to learn how to think. It is a place to learn how to get programmed. If you show thinking abilities, you are punished. Okay? So, stop and think about how religion teaches you this, schools teach you this, corporations, they want you to be a team player. Don't you dare think outside the box unless we tell you you can think outside the box. Yeah. Very few places think outside the box. On the other hand, try and name one company that didn't start out as a single person deciding that, hey, if I put this and this together, I can make a car, and my name's Henry Ford, and now we got Ford, or Chevy, or Chrysler, or Fiat, or Ferrari, or Maserati. Every last one of those car companies began as a single person deciding to do it. Apple Computers. 2 guys in a garage decided, hey, if we do this, now granted, they borrowed ideas from other people, but they decided to do something. 2 people got together and discussed a mutual agreement of 2 different perspectives of an idea. Apple Computers is now one of the wealthiest corporations in America. So if everything starts out as a single person idea, Stephen Jobs walked over to Steve Wozniak, and I'm trying not to mess that guy's name up, Stephen Wozniak, and said, hey, dude, how about if... Or Bill Gates walked up to his partners and said, hey, I know this guy that's writing this thing called MS-DOS, and it's called DOS, and if we buy it from him and we sell it over here to these people over here, we can make a ton of money, and this guy doesn't have to know it. So if you check the history books, you'll find that Bill Gates actually sold the DOS operating system before he owned it. And he was working out of a motel room when he did it. So the next time somebody tells you you can't change the world, look at them and laugh. Because all you have to do is decide you want to, and you can. Artists are people who create something out of nothing. We change the world every day. Whether it's doing photographs or paintings or sculptures or music or theater or movies, you name it. You got all this creativity because artists create it. Artists write books. We're called writers. Journalists write stuff. We're called journalists. Poets write stuff, but they're called poets. But we put stuff together out of nothing. We create out of nothing, and we become famous for it. Not all of us become rich. Not all of us become famous, obviously. But yeah. You're told not to believe that a single person can do something, and yet the physical evidence of your world is just exactly the opposite. Not even a government began without a single person starting the idea of, hey, what if? Yeah, a single person.